Hello, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your week. Well, on today's episode, we're going to do a tarte aux chèvres, or a goat cheese pie. Now, I live in a part of the country where dairy is abundant and it's really good quality, and I happen to have a lot of cheese in the fridge because it was on sale. And a friend of mine said, I need something that's vegetarian friendly, and I said, okay, I'll come up with something. And I had a lot of onions in the fridge and enough flour to make a pie dough. And that triggered something. I said, oh yeah, I remember having something like this at a bistro in France one time. It's really good. Goes well with a glass of wine. I had lots of dried herbs from the garden. You can try it out. We'll see how it goes. And also, don't forget to wear your green. Happy St. Patrick's, everybody. Let's go. To make our tarte aux chèvres, first we're going to start off with the dough. 250 grams of cold unsalted butter cut into cubes, to which we're also going to need 125 grams of cold water, and we're also going to need some flour. In this case, I had some all-purpose, so we're going to use about 375 grams of that. So basically, the procedure is add the butter and the flour together, then you gradually mix in the water until it becomes a dough. You let rest for about an hour. Then you're going to roll it out fairly thinly, and we're going to line a pie tin, just like this. A recipe like this will naturally leave you some leftovers, so you'll notice I'll have a fair amount hanging over the edge. I'll tear it off, and I can use this for small pies, other recipes. Don't waste anything. It's all goodness. Anyhow, the next important step is to dock the dough. This means you poke holes in the bottom so that when you bake it, the steam will escape and you won't have a soggy bottom. Once you've chilled it in the freezer or the fridge for at least a couple of hours, we're going to line it with some parchment paper, put some weights in there like beans, bake it for 375 for about half an hour. Now for our filling. I have 2 fresh eggs. I also have about 300 grams of goat cheese, and I cut the little end off just for decoration, and our herbe de Provence, which is my mix of lavender, oregano, savory, and thyme. Also, 250 grams of ricotta cheese. It's nice and neutral. So we slice the onions very thinly. Be very careful of your hands. Take your time. Then we're going to cook them. 2 tablespoons of a neutral oil, canola in this case. Then we're going to add the same proportion of butter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sweat the onions. We're going to put them all in a pan on very low heat with a cover. Don't lift the lid until they brown, about half an hour. It should look something like this. Very sweet and very good. Time to mix. So we're going to add a ricotta cheese, which is pretty sweet. Then tanginess with the goat cheese. Then we're going to add our herbs. Now this is a good mix. Floral, herbaceous, savory. Great way to start. Then we're going to add our eggs, the protein to bind it all together. And our onions, what we're going to do is we're going to drain off all the extra oil before we add it. So we do that. Then we add our fried onions to the mix. Then we're going to get ready to blend it all up. Hit the switch, mix it together. Then our baked pastry case is put down, and then we fill it up with all that cheesy goodness. Now, we're going to have to spread it out evenly to all the corners, so get a spatula of some sort and get it right in all the corners. If you have too much, don't worry about it. You bake it 375 for about 40 minutes, and we put that nice piece of goat cheese in the middle as a decoration. It turns out like this. Tangy, a little bit sweet, a little bit herbaceous. It's a great way to have a meal. French comfort food at its best. So I strongly encourage you to try something like this. Be creative. And you have leftovers too. Those little scrap pieces make nice little pies if you're having an appetizer. I'm just going to have one for a little sample here. So I hope you enjoy your week. Share, like, subscribe. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Cheers.